Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of Infinite Realms. And today I'm reviewing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness comic figure. Comic figure of Despair. Now this one I got loose and was really cheap. And I was gonna just toss them in with the haul videos, and then I just got to looking. And first off, there was a lot I didn't expect about this figure. I was pleasantly surprised. And also, another reason was I saw just coincidentally saw some reviews of Despair, and obviously some people didn't get the character and didn't get the figure. This was one I debated back and forth, partly because the price increase was holding me back. And, yeah, I know the price increase wasn't that bad at that point still. And then, you know, it's Despair. Despair is a character that is a little different even from Marvel. He's more like not even, I don't even want to say a demon. I mean, people keep calling him a demon. I don't think that's accurate. It's more like, he's the embodiment of fear. And, I mean, he's a cool character. And his history is really strange. He popped up first in Marvel Team Up with the Man-Thing, and the funny part was, is in the process of just researching a little bit into Despair, I realized I had this comic. Did not realize it was the first appearance of Despair, and I know I sold it off a long time ago, but oh well. Anyway, it was written by John Byrne, and it was written by Chris Claremont and drawn by John Byrne. Now, if you're kind of curious, those are those guys who did a thing, and then they did that other thing. The things we keep talking about all the time, ad nauseum. I mean, that was them, and a lot of people didn't realize how prolific they were in the Marvel 70s world. I mean, they wrote just about everything at one point and drew just about everything at one point. So that was another little pleasant surprise. So he was invented by John Byrne and Chris Claremont, and he was a lot simpler of a design then. It was just like but again, that's what I was saying, was that the people were kind of bemoaning the design of the character, and I mean, this is really pretty comic accurate. I have to say, it's they took a little bit of liberty with the face, which is fine. But because it actually looks better, it looks really good. It looks really great. A couple of people bemoan that the paint didn't go all the way into the in on the face sculpt, and I'm almost certain that's on purpose, because really that's kind of what Despair looks like up close. Once we started getting into more complex inkings and comic renderings, it started getting a little bit easier to go into more detail with characters, and that's kind of what he looks like. So beyond that, there was a couple of people, again, character designs, like, oh, he's just a black figure, and it's like, yes, that's what he is, and he's supposed to look like, and it's a very striking in a comic book. It's very striking. I always really liked it. I thought it was really cool, and he's fought many characters in the Marvel universe of Excalibur. He's fought, of course, Spider-Man. He pops up everywhere. He's fought the X-Men. He just pops up all over the place. His main guy is Doctor Strange, of course, because hey, he's Doctor Strange. Despair has the ability to cause fear and to cause hallucinations and to read minds. I mean, he's pretty powerful if you think about it. So, one thing I noticed about the figure, it came with fist hands, but I like the open hands. Those are a little bit more creepy. And, again, a lot of reviews I saw were bemoaning the cape, but if you ever read about Despair, read things with him in it, I mean, yeah, it does limit the shoulder pose ability, but you know what? He's not going to get into those kind of poses. I was really surprised he had butterfly joints, because he just does not he would not use them. I mean, he's fairly powerful and fairly static most of the time. And he would get into poses like this and flying and something like that. He's not going to be, doing too much of the Spider-Man stuff. And it is a very striking design. The white on the hands and the white on the cape and the white on the face are really striking against the black. And that is purposeful. I mean, they wanted to make him look dark and creepy and kind of terrifying. They went with a later design, not the John Byrne design, which I'm kind of glad they did because I thought it looked better. With the tattered cape and the almost flame-like forearms. I thought that looked a whole lot better than the more straight edge that John Byrne originally did. And not that I'm knocking John Byrne, but I mean, they were pumping out a lot of books then, so they kind of were going fast. And really, I ended up really liking this figure a whole lot more than I thought I would. Even seeing him in the store, it wasn't until I got my hands on him and kind of looked at him very closely, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And D.spayer was one of those villains you could just pop in and give a reasonable challenge to a hero, and he'd reasonably come out of it. And so his comic history is really kind of odd, somewhat funny. The characters he's interacted with, I found an issue of Excalibur that he was in, as I was like, whoa, now that's, talk about a deep dive there. So, and it's really, he's a character I didn't think would ever get a Marvel Legend. I just never really thought about it. And here he is, living black and white. So, yeah, I mean, I was going to pass on this figure, but I came back around, and I'm going to give him 4.5 stars. He's just really cool, and really cool representation of the character he's supposed to be. Now, if you bemoan anything about the design, that's the design of the comic, so there you go. But he's a good, creepy-looking character that really fits, the look fits what he does. And I'm so glad they went with this rather than, like, there was a almost Jokerish look he had at one point. And, that was bad. But this is just right. It's just got a good mix of, the tatteredness. Another thing I really like is the texture on the cape. It's smooth on the back, and there's this nice texture inside, which is what I would expect from D.spayer. I mean, that's just something that seems so D.spayer-like. So, yeah, it's a lot cooler figure than I thought, and I almost missed it, and I'm glad I didn't. So that's a quickie review on D.spayer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day.